Officially, Republic of Biafra government exile. Republic of Biafra government in exile. We have Republic of Biafra government in exile. Freedom. Our freedom has come. Arise and shine. For your freedom is here. Chilekana putagani nakumu fero. Ihabiago Chineki mele. Let there be light. Ibona na USA bakoma. Ibona na Washington DC. Washington DC. Anywhere back on November 12, 2022. Anyi bebe Biafra House Nkena Washington DC. Officially Oranuzije bakoma. Anyi polo kwanyi. Anyi polo kanyi shemeji Biafra. Ebe kanye jakama. Obara koyelu yangwa kamanye mandeka. All over the world gather. Republic of Biafra government in exile. Washington DC, I made grand reopening of Republic of Biafra government in US. Nema. Oh my people chupunye na karaka. Oh my people chupu gozi. Anywhere you go in this whole wide world, anywhere you go in this whole wide world, if you no see man, I beg you make it Japan. Rono, Igbos are everywhere. And you mention Rebecca, you move your friend away. Come back, Peter. I'm on Israel. Let us build our tell you to Gozi. I'm Show Wanyam. Oh, Wanyam, we had you man of Japarumun because of the city of rising. Republic of Biafra government. We are free indeed. Republic of Biafra government. No more chains. No more chains. Umuchuko kikabyama. Umuchuko kikabyama. Where do we find don't reach our hand? Oh my people, the karaka. We are united against the common enemy. United front. We are united against whosoever does not like our freedom. We are free indeed. Now Washington DC on November 12th. Who say Congressmen, senators of US, everybody wait there you. Yeah, Washington DC. On the 12th. It shall be great. And Washington, if you hear, tell your brother 12 November 2022. Freedom is key.
Republic of Biafra government in exile. December 14, 2022. Biafra referendum now. Press release, the United States African Leaders Summit, Washington, D.C. Wisdom from the wellspring of U.S. revolutionary history is the precept, denominated self-evident truths, that all persons are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable guarantees, most notably the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness made possible by property. It is to secure these very rights that governments are created, instructively anchoring their powers in the consent of the governed. Any government that violates this social contract forfeits its legitimacy or right to rule, and must, on a note of revolution, be replaced by another government more able to promote the safety and happiness of the masses. Weighted against these self-evident propositions, the evidence is overwhelming and few people can gainsay the fact that the Nigerian national government based in Abuja has not only denied its citizenry the existentialist welfare it promised them but, worse still, is hell-bent on exterminating Christians all across the country, particularly in the southeast home of the Igbo ethnic group. The United States, with its sophisticated intelligence stretching all four geographical corners of the world, knows all this. How come then that the U.S. government is quiet about the present genocide going on in the southeast of Nigeria by President Muhammadu Buhari, whom we learned that the Joe Biden White House has invited to the ongoing African Leadership Summit? Please bear in mind that 5 African countries with less egregious human rights records, none of them seen of an ongoing genocide unlike Nigeria, were not invited to this very summit. No one should forget that during the 1967-1970 Biafran genocide by the same Fulani Caliphate, during which period over 3 million Igbo Christians were slaughtered, it took the suicide and self-immolation of the inimitable Bruce Mayrock in front of the UN office, for the international powers to take notice. These so-called African leaders are mostly African misleaders, and no country is worse than Nigeria. President Buhari's period in office since 2015 has stripped off what little remained of the welfare of the citizens of Nigeria. Instead, under him, the Fulani tribesmen have enshrined the Islamic Sharia law in a supposedly secular Nigeria. Enough. The international community can no longer stand on the fence, hands akimbo, while our families are being exterminated by the day. Why are United States legislators that, as United States naturalized citizens we helped vote into office, through their inaction unwittingly promoting policies that support the Islamization agenda by the Fulani Caliphate headed by President Buhari going on in Nigeria? How many Fulani tribesmen are here in the U.S. who work and pay taxes? Must the United States government, whether knowingly or unknowingly, allow Fulani to exterminate our families and expect us to sit quietly? The writing on the wall is about to be decoded, and the status quo ante is unacceptable to us Biafrans. Therefore, we unapologetically request a referendum on Biafra now, with no more delay. In a nutshell, we make 4 demands that, by this message, we present to the international community. The first is for the release of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, a dual citizen of Britain and Nigeria, who also lived in the UK before his illegal rendition from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021. Ever since, he has been in the custody of the Nigerian secret police. Secondly, prevail on Buhari's Islamist, Fulani-dominated government, from killing our people. Third, related to the second demand, the United States should appoint a special envoy to southeastern Nigeria to closely monitor the dreadful human rights situation on the ground. Finally, we demand a United Nations supervised peaceful referendum to determine the political fate of the people of Biafra. Under no circumstances shall we be Nigerians again. The world can no longer maintain a code of silence regarding the extermination of Christians that has gone on since President Buhari's period in office spanning nearly 8 horrendous years. For more than 100 years, the world has enforced an amalgamation of incompatible ethnic groups that have not worked. Should it take another 100 years of genocide and related extrajudicial killing for the world to know that the experiment is unworkable? Where we are now, our determination to have our separate state of Biafran is non-negotiable. Please visit our website and see a copy of the Biafran House inauguration brochure that contains a tip of the iceberg of the daily work of the Boari genocide in Biafran land. Therefore, we ask for your support now for a peaceful and non-violent referendum on the Republic of Biafra. The time for coexisting with Fulani in one country has long passed because their irredentism and relentless pursuit of hegemony over other groups embedded in unflinching genocide runs against the grains of our value systems, anchored in hard work, the pursuit of educational excellence, and peaceful existence. And we are beyond anyone pretending to convince us otherwise. We have the inalienable right to manage resources from our land to better the welfare of our people and enter mutually rewarding diplomatic relations with like-minded, among other measures and gestures of control over our destiny. This is the only viable, sane, and nonviolent way to correct the tragic malamalgamation of 1914 that has resulted in the death of millions of Biafrans, and still counting. This press release is by the Republic of Biafra Government in Exile, Washington, D.C. December 14, 2022. The Republic of Biafra.